Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, we're ready for our next speaker. Is Robin Brumfield, and as you know, Robin started the Annie's Project here in New Jersey in 2011, and she's on. I don't know if you know this, but this program is also international now. She's offered it to women in Turkey and
Germany,
and
Spain,
and
Guyana,
Nicaragua. Yeah, so she's been all over the world with this program, and she's going to talk about an important aspect of your business plan, your vision, and your mission statement.
Okay, thank you, Madeline. When we first started Annie's Project, we discovered this was probably the most important piece, and it was the hardest to get across. I think somehow either you've gotten smarter or we've gotten better at describing it, but it seems to go a little bit faster now. But I think Carol really led into a lot of the reasons that you need a business plan, and also a mission and a vision statement for your farm. My arrows aren't going. Oh, there we go. So you have to use these instead of those. I used this. Okay, it's working for you, but not for me. Why is
I don't know. Something happens.
Okay, what is a mission statement? Well, it's basically an elevator speech that describes your business, but not only I grow tomatoes, but why you grow tomatoes, and it also encompasses who your customer is. So it should be like a short 1 or 2 sentences that describes everything about your business. Short enough that you can memorize, but it also states why do you exist. It helps to set goals and standards for your business, as Carol mentioned, and it should be a source of inspiration. You notice all businesses, big businesses, have had them for years, but farming is a business, and one of our previous graduates said, I didn't really know I was running a business till I came to Annie's Project. That was the first time I thought of myself as a businesswoman. And that's what when I took this thing to Turkey, that's what I realized. Everybody looked down at these peasant farmers, and they're feeding the world. And so that's why we call it empowering women through business management, because you're doing, in my opinion, the most important job in the world. One of the mission statements that I like the best from one of my Turkish farmers is growing healthy food for healthy people. You know, that's simple. It covers everything. So it should be a source of inspiration. It also looks at the future and says, what kind of business do I want to be? Some of you have mentioned that before. What are the values that you hold, and what are you giving a value to your customers? And it should help you come up with clear decision-making criteria. And it answers what we call the value proposition, is what do you do for your customers? So what values do you hold that you won't compromise? What characteristics do you want to portray to people, your customers and also your employees? What principles do you stand for? How do I want to be seen or thought of when I interact with people? And what do I want in life? So the mission focuses on the present, but it also sets goals for the future. It answers that question: why does my business exist? What is its purpose? What do I do in this business? Why do I do it? And who do I do it for? So it identifies your products and services, but also the value to the customers. Someone mentioned when we were discussing before about what's of value to the customer. We call that the customer value proposition. So what of value are you providing to the customer? What problem are you solving for them? Not just that, you know, you're growing eggs, but producing eggs, but why would they want your eggs versus something else? And often the competition isn't another farmer. It's what are they doing with those consumer dollars? I remember years ago when I first came to Rutgers and I had some of the biggest farmers in my audience, I'm thinking, what am I going to tell them? And, you know, I said, I mostly have focused on greenhouses. And I said, you know, you're probably not competing with the greenhouse next door. You're competing with the consumer dollar for maybe a bottle of wine or candy or something like that. And he came up to me and he said, I never thought of it like that. You know, is I'm providing some value to the customer and they only have so many dollars. So where are they going to spend those dollars? And what do you offer that's the best place for them to spend that money? When I first started, years ago, more than 40 years ago now in agriculture, you could just produce wonderful products, especially in greenhouses. It was in a super growth industry. You could grow anything you wanted and you could sell it because we had more demand than supply. Well, guess what? In a lot of areas now we have more supply than demand. So you hear a lot of talk about niche marketing. Is what niche are you filling that nobody else is? Because if you go with the cheapest price, and we do have some farmers in New Jersey that compete on price and do it very effectively, but you have to really be prepared to do that. Usually somebody can come in and undercut you, so you've always got to be one step ahead of the game. Most of you are probably going to be small farmers, so you're needing to find a niche that somebody else isn't satisfying. So you have to identify what the market need is, and sometimes customers don't even know they have a need. You know, before they came up with the iPhone, did people say, I need an iPhone? No, right? Sometimes you have to identify the need for them before they've thought that they need it. Then you grow or produce products or services that satisfies that need, but also at a price that customers are willing to pay. If it costs me $10 to grow a poinsettia and the consumers are only willing to pay $5, you know, they're not going to go up unless I can somehow convince them that it's worth more. So you have to be able to produce it at a price they're willing to pay so that you can have a profit. Otherwise, you can't stay in business. Like Charlotte said, you can't produce that great product if you're not making enough money to keep doing it. So the mission statement highlights the unique aspects of your farm and also describes how it benefits the customer. So it's not just I grow tomatoes, but you know, I grow these luscious, healthy tomatoes for whatever that ideal customer you have is. So it should be short enough so people can remember it, but it also has to answer the question, why are you here? Where are you going in the future? And how can I beat or avoid competition so that other people don't get the same idea and then they just go down the road and buy from them at maybe, you know, a penny cheaper. So a mission statement focuses less on the activities of your business, but more on what you will accomplish for your customers and also for your employees and your owners. And this, like I said, was one of the most valuable things that came out of the Annie's project that first year is everybody developed a mission statement. It's on their website, it's on their social media, it's on their price list, it's on their newsletters, so that everybody knows it, your customers, your employees, everybody that you touch. And it has to focus on that customer value proposition that we mentioned. So it can help unify everybody in the farm around a common purpose and direction. Your homework this week is going to be coming up with a mission statement and discussing it next week. But make sure unless you're the only person in the business, take this home and get some input from everybody involved in the business. It should be the foundation for making all the decisions that you make in your business. It should highlight the philosophy and focus on the circumstances of your business. Like it could be including some things like the production method, such as native or organic, commodities such as microgreens, target market, such as, I think you mentioned Bernie Sanders supporters. I think that's great because I fell in love with Bombas socks because you know what? They're the best socks I've ever had. And they have that same philosophy. If I buy a pair of socks that are pretty expensive, they give one to a homeless shelter. So that, you know.
Yeah, but they're made in China.
Probably.
Darn toughest.
Okay, I'll have to look for them. I'll have to look for them. Okay. So I'll have to look for those. But, you know, that appealed to me as well, that I'm helping somebody else. So it should talk about the unique circumstances of your business, the who, what, why, and how, and it should be short. So it's got a lot of information in a very short description. So some examples that we came up with. Here's the situation. Uncle Steve's farm is in Hunterdon County. It consists of beef cattle raised for sale to sell to various customers in New Jersey. Steve is dedicated to the ethical treatment of his animals and is a believer in organic production. So his mission statement is Uncle Steve's farm is dedicated to raising animals in an environmentally sustainable fashion with the strictest attention to animal health and comfort. These practices ensure a superior quality, organically raised beef product for customers and a picturesque, healthy environment for our neighbors. So when you read that, do you get a picture of what his farm is like and what he believes in and who his customers are? And you could probably work on making it a little shorter, but it's everything there. So this is one of our first year Annie's graduates, and here's the mission statement that she came up with. Her name is Alma, but she calls herself Jalma Farms, is committed to a sustainable native fruits orchard while preserving open space and protecting sensitive fresh and saltwater ecosystems. So it's short enough that you can remember that, and it describes what she sells, but also how she produces it, what she values, right? So it's hard to get all those things in a little short sentence. And you just saw Carol. It seems like it's getting cut off. But here is her mission statement that she developed in that first year. But she's talking about natural food, commitment to cleanliness of the animals, to the products, environmental stewardship, and so forth. So she worked all those things into her mission statement. I took this idea to Nicaragua, and these women were indigenous people in Nicaragua. They were developing these straw baskets, and they worked together to come up with their mission statement. So they're a cooperative of indigenous women organized with the aim of improving the quality of life for our families through the production and commercialization of artisanal products. They wanted that artisanal word in there. Based on the pine needle, offering a variety of natural, handmade, and environmentally friendly products for local and foreign tourists. So you understand what they're about. And guess what? They had a mission statement in a book somewhere that some, volunteer group it came up with. But do you think they ever cared about it, used it, whatever? You've got to do it yourself before it means something to you. So this, you can see they wrote it down. They're really proud of it. They're smiling, holding their baskets, because this is their mission statement. It's not imposed on them by somebody else. So all of the handouts and PowerPoints that we have from all the speakers are on the website under the speakers. At the bottom of each speaker's picture and description are their handouts. So there's a fact sheet that under mine that we developed on how to do a mission statement. So this is part of that fact sheet. So first think about what type of business you have, whether it's livestock, vegetable, nursery, greenhouse, tree fruit, diversified, whatever, and go into a little bit more specifics on the right. Then think of some words that describe principles and values and production practices. We threw some ideas out. There's plenty of more, I'm sure, but sustainable, green, environmentally friendly. Now everybody wants to know their farmer, know their product, have local is big, natural is big, pollinator friendly, lots of different things that are that you can appeal to people on now. Then think about how you sell the services, community-supported agriculture online, direct sales, farmers markets, agritourism, other things. Who are your customers? Are they local? Are they retail outlets? Are they restaurants? Are you selling online? And then what do you want your business to be known for? Is it environmentally friendly, honest, and having integrity, welcoming? The big thing in the last few years has been experience. People don't go. When I was in graduate school, I used to go pick strawberries to save money, and I would make my virgin strawberry daiquiris with those strawberries, and I would keep them all winter. Now nobody goes to pick strawberries for that reason. They do it as an experience. They want to have a fun day out, so they only pick a few. So things have really changed, but it's all, and most people, I think it's less than 2% of the people in the U.S. are farmers. So you're like going to Disney for them. And over 50% of our farms in New Jersey are in agri-entertainment, which is what people are really interested in. They have no idea how to grow anything. They may have grown a bean on a cotton ball when they were in kindergarten, and that's about it. So they think your place is really neat. Okay, I'm being told I got to hush. So, in other words, take all those words that we have and briefly describe why your business is unique, and come up with a mission statement that uses all those words that you use to describe your business. And then hang it up so that everybody knows what it is. So some resources are, we have the farm management website, which then veers off into Annie's project. And then, as Madeline mentioned, the University of Minnesota Ag Plan is what we use for the first Annie's project. Now we have our own workbook here for New Jersey. But the thing I like about the Ag Plan at the University of Minnesota, which is what Carol did, is it describes each section and it gives ag examples. And also, you can pick me as your reviewer if you like, and I can go in and give you some tips if you want. You don't have to, but I'm happy to do that. And it saves it for you so that you can come back and work on it, and then at the end you can print it out. So we're going to take about a 5-minute break right now, and then we will be back. I guess we have time for maybe one question. Any questions? How do we know in the chat box if we have any? If not, we were having a little tough technical difficulty down in Atlantic Heading with getting. No questions?
That's from
No.
the
Okay.
previous session.
All right. We'll
No
see you in
questions
5
for
minutes.
today.